man dama just sant yàlla ne rek ne I'm like I'm an activist in heart, right? Man, injustice, bugumoko. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. It's a no-no for me. You know what I mean? Like I said, MC mom duma ko wax sama sedema because duma wax lolu. Why in the course of our work, naka Jallo mu ngi talk fini. Jallo knows how passionate I am when it comes to issues. There are times where I'm a lone voice on issues and I don't move. Why daf daan dem bi nga xamne ñepp dañoo ñëwaat fekkasi ma fi. Fekkasi ma. ci li nga xam ne loolu laa taxaw dañ ma daan tooñ ne man may sëriñ bi foofu noonu you know what that's how passionate I am and strong in my stance my yes and my no now always dama dee wax ne ci dëkk bi fii am nañ partisan issues even suñ kër yi sax ndax dee gis ñoo xam ne ñoo dee bokka magaraka ñii ñoo nekk against kii ñii ñoo nekk against di nga gis doom yi ñii juboo yaay bi ñii bokkaa kii loolu fu nekk la dee xew in everything liggéeykat di nga gis ne ñii ñoo nekk cohort bi ñii ñoo nekk camp bi in political parties waaye when it comes to issues of nation nit ñi dañ dee war a bàyyi lu nekk the language should be one the color should be red white blue white green and nothing else. You understand? The name should be Gambia, Mother Gambia. And this particular advocacy is nothing but that. And I want everybody to see it that way. Because the fight is for everybody else in Gambia, in government, everybody else outside government, everybody else in the private sector. Because what we are advocating for, it's about the Gambian issues. It's national interest. The assets that are supposed to bring about change in our hospitals, in our school system, in our roads, in the agriculture, in every sector of the government. So ñun ñëpp suñ affaire la. Li ma dey always wax loo bokk doo xaar ñu oola si. Everybody needs to make it their business. Now, the process, the procedures, the structures, and everything else, yes, need to be looked into. And obviously, it has to have credibility. The people who are also championing, their characters must be impeccable. And of course, they don't have to have ulterior motive like Milawa. Man, I can sit here and authoritatively say, I am proud. Dama kontaan parce que jëmma yi ma gis si seen waxin, si seen jëfin ak si seen xalaat. You understand? Of course, loo mën a def rek dang dee am ñoo xam ne dañoo ñëw pour become detractors. ñoo xam ne mool lañ dee nekka. And we have discovered that with several individuals down the line from the start until today. Di nga xam ne dañ leen di yóoni for one reason or the other. Or ñoom ñooy ñëw xëy na commencement bi they have good intentions but down the line they realize okay this is not for me or for one reason. And again the pressure that comes from outside, you know, that tell you bul def lii doo lii daf dee bari. Man I can't tell you the amount of pressure and the voices and the what and the people that are reaching out ku nekkaa ngee wax different thing. At the end of the day man maa am pour decide lan laa war a def ak lan laa war a jël waaye lii yëpp dem na ñëw na mënoon naa ñàkka. It could have been avoided. We should not have gotten to that. The state has put in a lot of resources in these 3 days. Right? Yes. A lot of resources, those resources could have been used into the security sector and it will add value on them. Because resources in expense need. The only thing it has averted a lot of chaos, which they have caused themselves, and then they came back to try to put that in order. Mënoon nañ koo dugal feneen. So always dañ dee am pour xalaat ñu use seen xel yi buñ use seen xol. Te dama also ñaan security sector bi buñ dee allow politicians outside, understand nga, who have messed up egos ñëw di leen push ñuy jël stands and positions yoo xam ne it doesn't help them waaye dafa bring about bitter taste, bad memories because dafa am luñ dundoon suñ diggante ak security bi si Gambie bi fii. Am na yeneen su ko nit ñi gisee rek am na lu mu dee indiwaat. Am na feneen bi bu ko wax diggante boobu noonu li ma gis yëpp dafa at some point in time I broke down. You understand? I broke down. Man ku ma xam gaawuma jooy. You understand? In the heat of the most difficult moment, si laa di gën a am fit, si laa di gën a dëgër. Waaye I broke down. Li xew mooy dafa am lu ñëw suma xel, dafa am ma fàttali ko. Because dafa am scénario si ma gis, dafa ma fàttali lu métti mu laal suma xol. And da nga gis ne that instant bi ñëw indi boy si di leen force ay yooyu noonu. A lot of people called thinking that I was arrested. You know, because of ning don def la don bañ ñu def ko because I felt that it was unwarranted. I cannot stand there, see them handle these boys in a way it was not right, it was not dignified. And that was I was pushing and pulling with them to stop those things. You understand? Lolu waruton. Dem na ñëw na the demand is not for the police, the demand is not to political parties, the demand is not to any particular individual. Because this work was initiated by the government. And whatever anybody does is answerable to the government at the end of the day. So this movement is holding the government accountable and asking them. It is the government to go to whoever was working on their behalf to get whatever needed to be done and come and provide it in a transparent and accountable manner. And that's what they fail to do. Buba, ñun ñëpp ci dëkk bi lañ dëkka. I can say Gambia bi yëpp mun nañ maa bañ man. Waaye maa ngi am kenn koo xam ne mu ngi biir State House a decision maker in the corridors of power bugga na ma bugga boo xam ne buggut lu ma métti bugga na ma bugga boo xam ne nu métti su waxut si kaw dina ma oo si koona ne ma lii ak lii lii ak lii man am naa ko yow am nga ko keneen ak keneen am na ko parce que Gambia lañ dëkka ñun ñëpp balaa government bi di ñëw ñu ngi doon dunda ñu ngi doon exist si njëkk ak taranga seexalante nañ taranga seexalante nañ kóolare boo xam ne dëgg la am na ñoo xam ne xamuñ kóolare xamuñ taranga dañ ñeme fàtte waaye am na ñoo xam ne dañoo fàttaliku démba te buñ la xoolee jak rek am na lu ñoo fàttaliku ba tax duñ la waxal lu ñaaw duñ la defal lu métti parce que am na foo leen jaar so loolu mu ngi fa and everything that is happening in there some of us are privy to that we know what the plans are we know what the game plan is we know everything that they wanted to do what they want to do now after everything changed and what is the way forward it's coming now so they need to put their house in order the bottom line is we're not enemies. We're not enemies to anybody else.
What did they want to do?
Buba na ko dangerous la. Buba soko bayete hell.
The plan.
Dugal.
that question come at a very.
I'm the lumla like a bit of time. I was like, hey Buba. No, Buba.
No, we are very interested.
Wait, I'm gonna have to. Yo, me.
Who told you he's underrated? Buba is the most underrated journalist.
It's true. Wallahi, Buba is underrated. Because Buba is so disciplined. Buba is not confrontational. Buba dugut ay choco. Most of people underrate Buba. Why Buba is dangerous?
There is this politician kuneka outside. Kumagal different interview. Kumane boy. Mane gis journalist yoo xam ne suñu interview ñu smile du ma leen di ñeme baral ma rek so it's scared but
yeah smile du ko ñeme
no mu ne journalist boy smile moom
but anyway this is the thing because léegi tamit xam nga Buba comme man ku ma xam you understand I'm a friend to everybody but when it comes to issues of Gambia nobody is my friend I don't look at anybody else you know what I mean
right.
And my truth I don't mince it. And like I always say, I don't scratch the surface, I dive in. A lot of people don't like it in the heat of things, but later on, after cool heads prevail, they understand, okay, it's not what you saw, there is a different side of her. And later, you get privy to certain information. It's not anything you go and discuss. It's not anything you sit on platforms to say. You know what I mean? Because nit ku nekk am na loko sama, nit ku nekk am na loko setal. And that's not in my nature. You know what I mean? Why anything lo hamne, information lo hamne, it's going to be a problem for Gambia and Gambians. I will not keep it for anybody else. That's also, let's be clear about that. I'm not going to keep anything for anybody, but again, I will not go out there exposing people because they have trust and confidence and discuss certain things with me, and then I sit to talk about it. I don't take pride in those things. Man, that's not the way I seek for relevance. I'm relevant already, so I don't seek for relevance trying to expose certain things.
It's good that you know their plans. That's okay. It's good that you know their plans.
But the thing is, again, the petition is very, very clear and specific. Oh boy, Gambia is blessed with talent. Gambia is blessed with talent. Man, mingling with these young boys or whatever and things like that. Some of them, magumalensa. Maybe them age group la, or henyalimalendi magelu tuti la, or nyema se maktamit, few people la. You understand? New few la, nyema se mak. Why interacting with them, si sa si ma help suma bopa, suma ham. Si sa si ma hamne, man fima tolu, warna gena góorgóorlu.
Yeah, very intelligent.
Oh boy, the word intelligent is an understatement because they know what they're talking about. It's not Marirandor, you just know boga boka. If you look at this petition, it's very specific what is being asked because they know what they want, what they want to know. And right now, even when the list came out, the discussions, like I tell you, technicians, MC think the technician, no, go and look at the technicians that are reviewing this list. Gahamne, you are not.
Political technician.
Political technician.
The experts,
technician,
the experts who are looking at these things, Jonathan, the preliminary reports that are coming, Gahamne, this is not a joke. Yes. These are people who know what they're asking for, people that know what needs to be. And at the end of the day, the good thing is, it will be for the benefit of every Gambian. Yeah. Because again, this movement is one that is precipitating a crisis to command change. Change does not come out of convenience. People need to know that. It doesn't in any way. This Master Lam Slam, Duganafele, or whatever, and all that, it will not bring about a change. And it will bring about change, Wahamne. System change being done for the longest time. The reforms being done for the longest time. It did not happen because it will not favor a lot of people. It will be a forced change that will set precedents, and it will be there for posterity. And people need to embrace it. We are not here to witch hunt anybody. The group is not here to yahal nit or whatever. It's about Gambia. And of course, down the line, some people will be disadvantaged. That also needs to be clear. Because some people will be found wanting, and the needful has to be done on those people. And that needs to happen for everybody to understand business cannot be as usual.
The end goal.
Yes.
Heads must roll.
Okay.
That's what
Heads,
it is.
It's either they roll heads or we roll their heads, but heads must roll.
But
accountability, it cannot be postponed.
But this role here is not killing, right?
No. Okay. Police, we don't have guns. We don't kill.
Not at all.
We're
Not
not
at all.
going to
It
kill.
I
cannot be
just want to
violent.
make it
What we're
clear.
trying to say is,
We are targets. So
what we're trying to say is,
just
for
make
us,
it clear.
let the government do few things. As if now the list is out. We are going to analyze the list. But at the end of the day, whoever is found wanting must be held accountable.
Even,
one of our key
even they
demands,
are within your group.
one of the key demands.
Oh, sure. Who cares? So you are within the
Yeah,
group
well,
or
what?
outside.
Even
Even
they are
when they're within the group.
I like
I want to I just want to put you one thing. You know what launched my activism against my dad. You know my dad was governor on the Jame. That's how I start against him. That's how I start activism. So don't worry about who is with me or not. If you are found wanting, we're gonna get after you.
All right, that's clear.
It's that simple.
It's clear. That's clear.
But it needs to, people need to embrace it and support and empower these young people.
Yeah.
I mean, again, government they did a lot of mistakes down the line. You know what? I acknowledge with the engagements, a lot of people really saw that this was unnecessary and we could have averted this. We could have had an amicable discussion and all that. You know what I mean? Which I think is not a matter of just why in action Why at the end of the day, officials, when they're in position of authority, right? In any position, they need to be humble. They need to come down to the level of the masses.
Yes.
Finger talk no. Most of them are not even handsome anyways. Let me say that. So it's not like I just wanted to walk into your office to look at your face and smile. No. There is a reason why I come to talk to you. And if I respect you enough to see yo ya talk for funono, manyo pour engage la, be respectful enough. Return that respect. Right? I cannot force you to say something. I cannot force you to do something. But no na yo ya fa talk, so nga respect the position, nga respect sa bopa. Because hey, linga joxe lolou lañ la return. So all of them wax suñ la fayé sa bor nga mer rek, linga lepp la mo baxut. You understand? You see some of them will come back and start talking about kimo wali. Why yo linga def be koku wax lim wax or def lim def yo do ko de wax. So they need to humble themselves. And a lot of engagements were ongoing. The NYC, right? National Youth Council. They did fabulous work to see, understand that this was resolved amicably. And there were meetings that we've done. And authority was so...
He was not pleasant with what he was saying.
And he said, well, this group, they're just a movement. They're not a structured whatever. They're just a movement.
And
but you
so-
know what? That movement got you working on a Saturday.
Exactly.
That movement got you working Friday till late. That movement got you working Sunday. But if you were too humble and reason and talk and maybe preach their conscience, you would have been resting with your family on Friday evening.
Is it Lamin Kesedi?
Oh, no,
not Lamin,
not
okay.
Lamin K-City, not Lamin K-City. And Saturday and Sunday, you know what I mean? I mean, even, I told Lamin, even Lamin, I mean, definitely everything possible to gisne, you know, when you come to an agreement, pour about lidon hell no and all that thing. Why still, lol, waron nako muna def, depuis,
First day, yeah. Or
the
before
first
the
day,
protest.
from Monday,
Yeah.
when these people went to the police station, if I was in that position, I call myself a representative of a youth at that Apex house, the state house. Anything that has to do with the youth, whether mun neex whether mun hari. Suma ko déggee dinaa bugg a dem ma xam lan la ma xool man suma taxawaay as seen representative naka lay mun a def pour gën koo rafetal naka lay mun a def pour gën koo yokka naka lay mun a def pour gën koo yaayal pour ñu bari ñu bokk ci. You understand? But that was not done until Saturday. I mean, Friday and Saturday. You know what I mean? Not dismissing the efforts at all. Not dismissing it.
But it was
then
late,
again, I'm saying that so that it can be a learning tool next time. Because you know what? Protests are going to continue to happen. Even so, if you amon naka lañ ko waxatee Pope Leo Pope bu ees buñ fal nii sax su fi ñëwoon dina am lu moo def loo xam ne man du ma neex yow du la neex we should be able to come out and protest against that because def na lu ñu neexul. So it's going to be an ongoing thing. So affaire bi nañ di open their mind and it's very clear and people need to understand. Say bi wax na ko fii nii a lot of people are there, they're affiliated, but when it comes to national issues, everybody removes their party colors, their party symbols, and come on board. Fii soo fi bëggee wax ne anybody that is in a political party warta bokka, then maybe 3 nit nga fa am.
Yeah, because ñu bari ñu ngi bokk ci party so
No, honestly, even if you go to Europe today, you have the citizen assemblies, right? They don't look at beyond affiliation. What they look at is a common goal. That's how movements are. You see, it's in fact in the Gambia, the movement will always turn out to organizations. Movements are supposed to be parallel. A goal. You are yellow, I am pink, but we come together, and that's what movements are run on. So I know we Gambians are very conscious about who is in this party and who is in this party. See, party politics is one thing, but politics is a whole different thing, right? And that's why also I saw the debate of whether we are partisan or non-partisan, we are political and non-political. Those are very irrelevant debates. We are political. We are a political movement. We are not partisan.
Yeah, that's what Omar Malmo said.
Yeah. I saw the debate. The debate is generally very
Yeah.
irrelevant. If you understand, like Mohammed told us yesterday, you cannot teach a political scientist what is political and what is not political, right? so we understand that. But outside, in the context of how people see what politics is, they can say we are apolitical. That is a random conversation outside. But we know what we are. But like Nenneh said, you know, it's an open movement for Gambians. We are not partisan. And then one thing we want to make clear, in not any part of our demand that we want to remove Barrow. We don't have business with Barrow. We leave it to politicians.
Okay.
We want to ensure that government is run on the principles of accountability and transparency and trustworthiness. That's also. And then what if we tell Gambians what it takes to have a government that does it and they go to the polls and vote, that is their big problem and then the problem of the politicians. But for us, we don't want to remove Adama. We want to ensure that there is seriousness in our government, there is effectiveness in service delivery, and accountability and transparency cannot be delayed.